Good afternoon, folks, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Gary Betty Lee, the old church, 5 Acre Homestead. Well, I'm out here in my garage today, getting ready to cook some Newfoundland traditional codfish. And I'm going to call this video today, Codfish, COVID, and Kindness. Now, you might be asking, what does codfish, COVID, and kindness have in common? I hope throughout this video, it will become very, very clear what those three items have in common. I'm getting ready here now to do my recipe for frying some codfish out here in my garage. The first thing you must do is you must get yourself some traditional Newfoundland fatback. We call it scruncheons here in Newfoundland, folks. So cut it up into little squares, and it needs to be rendered out into your frying pan. And I have it here put on my old Enterprise wood stove. The fire is going, and the scruncheons is rendering out. The next thing I must do is make my my egg wash. And in my egg wash, I have a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and I'm going to whisk it together to make it into a nice little mixture for the fish. Okay, so that's all ready to go. Okay, I've already cut my cod fillets up into chunks. So I'm just going to take them now and lay some into the egg batter. Okay, with my trusty thongs here. Okay, throw it into the flour here now. Okay, now I'm just going to take that piece of codfish over to my stove and put it right in on top of those beautiful scruncheons that are already rendered out. Okay, there's one piece. I'm going to fill this frying pan now full of 4 or 5 pieces of the codfish, and then we'll have another chat about codfish, COVID, and kindness. Okay, now back here at the stove, folks, and as you can see, some of the pieces of codfish are pretty much done here now. Just gonna flip them over. Quite a bit of heat here in this from this old stove. So I'll get them flipped over. They'll soon be done, and then I'll keep frying some more. So traditional Newfoundland codfish, pan fried. So I'm going to take some of these out here now because they're done. Just going to move them over here to the end of the stove. Take them out. Just put them over here in this little plate. Okay. Got some potatoes to go into the oven here in a second. We have some potatoes wrapped in tin foil, but before we did that, we drenched the potatoes in Eversweet margarine, traditional Newfoundland Eversweet margarine, and they're going to be tasty too. And they're going to go in the oven there in a second. Getting ready to put our potato in the oven, folks. Here we go. Okay, got it all laid out there now on that rack. I don't have my glove with me, so here we go. So, potato in the oven. That'll take about a half hour, maybe 40 minutes to cook there in the oven. This fish is also done now, so I'm going to move my frying pan over and take these pieces out and lay them over here. You don't want to keep it in there too long. Codfish do not need to be pan fried for very long. Now, getting ready to put a few more pieces of slab in our stove here now, folks. There we go. Got it all topped up there with slab, trying to keep a bit of heat in there and get a bit of heat in the oven for those beautiful potatoes that's going to be cooked there very shortly. The codfish is all done. So I'm going to take that codfish there now, using my rag, my cloth that I found, so that because the plate is pretty a bit hot, I'm going to put it in the warmer part of this old Enterprise wood stove. It'll be safe up there to stay warm when we're ready to enjoy our supper. But at the beginning of this video, I spoke about a connection between codfish, COVID, and kindness. And I raised the question, what does those three items have in common? Well, codfish, of course, is a traditional Newfoundland fish. It's a traditional Newfoundland food that we eat quite often here in Newfoundland, Canada. And it's a comfort food. It gives us a lot of comfort during especially times of stress and times of worry. We often go to our comfort foods when we are stressed and worried. And right now, here in Newfoundland and Labrador, if you've been following the news, you might know that we've gone into alert 5 with respect to COVID-19. COVID-19, of course, as you know, is is a very serious virus that's affecting the world right now. It's a pandemic, and it is certainly affecting us here in Newfoundland and Labrador. And with Alert 5, there are lots of precautions that we have to take, and some of them involve wearing masks and washing our hands often and keeping a physical distance from each other of at least 6 feet, and some other things. Recently we've been told, for example, to stay home as often as we can. With all of these measures though, people are feeling anxious and they're feeling stressed. And of course, getting back to the codfish, as I said, codfish is a comfort food, and we often go to our comfort foods when we are feeling stressed and anxious. Now, I believe one of the most important things that you can do during times of anxiety and stress is to lean on one another. Ladies and gentlemen, folks, Newfoundlanders and Labradorians are known across this world as being a very kind, a very caring group of people, and indeed we are. Okay, so we are certainly quite able to lean on one another and support one another during this pandemic, during this COVID-19. A part of that leaning involves being kind to one another, and that's where the kindness comes in this video today. So codfish, COVID, and kindness. Sense of humor helps too, so it's important to laugh and have a bit of fun, but it's very important to be kind to one another. Show respect to each other. It is important to stay calm and to be positive, but kindness, folks, goes a long, long way. You know, if somebody out there has been already diagnosed and you know who they are, show some kindness. Okay? That's very, very important. People don't want to get COVID, of course they don't. So being kind to people who've already been diagnosed is very, very important. So that's our latest video, folks, for our YouTube channel, Gary Betty Lee, the Old Church 5 Acre Homestead. This video we called Codfish, COVID, and Kindness. If you liked our latest video, folks, please hit the like button. And of course, it's very important that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and that is Gary Betty Lee, the Old Church 5 Acre Homestead.